Okay. Hey guys, what's up? 1 second. I just want to get everything ready on my end. I have to get the Discord ready. Here we go. Okay. Should be good. Okay. So now, let's just tell everybody where we are. Chat stage. I don't know if you guys can hear me typing, but I'm just getting everything ready. Awesome. Now we can join there. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I'll put it on. I'll put it on members only for now. I might try public later. But I think members only is right. Awesome. Okay, so Richie's here. I'll give it a couple seconds to let people trickle in. All right. So I think everything's ready. Let's lower this. I don't know how much I should lower it. I'll leave it at that for now. Okay. All right. We'll be getting underway in a couple seconds. Okay. So let's open this up. So once we get started, I'm going to open the floor to anybody who's, interested in either a specific question, right? Something they have that they want to discuss, or a specific topic. Like I'm completely open to the floor. I think at least for the first half hour. Depending on how it goes, we might talk for longer. Okay. We'll probably start at 4:05. I didn't bring water. It's okay. I'll get it later. Okay, I'm feeling good. Feeling ready to start. It has been a while, so attendance is not super important to me right now. It's more about actually doing it weekly because we can build it from there. But it's good to have the participants that we do have. And yeah, I think we're gonna start in a minute and just go. Before I start, does anybody have anything they want to discuss? I think Richie is in the stage, so if you would like to talk about something in particular, you can either put it in chat, you could say it. It's up to you. And if not, that's totally cool too. I'll just start in probably about 30 seconds less. Yeah, okay. I think I'm in the right place. Awesome. Okay, yeah. I was going to ask about my progress. I mean, so my local is kind of nuts. The way that I've heard it put, which I pretty much completely agree with, is that my local is like round 3 of a major. Not a super major, but like round 3 of a major. It's a really, really solid local. Like top 16 are very, very good players. Always. So I'm not too worried about how I do each week. I'm more worried about how I play each week, if that makes sense. I don't really care about like whether I went 4-2 or 3-2 because that's kind of irrelevant, especially if you're getting eliminated by like the same person or somebody who's getting top 8. Like to me, if you're getting top 8 and you're eliminating me, I'm fine. I'm not upset about that at all. It's natural, right? Like for example, the person that I'm thinking of in my head, very good player named Mr. Mojo, who goes to my local. Uh, he what happens usually is that he'll get upset in winners, and then he'll make an insane losers run, right? And usually I'm one of his losers run people. But like going 3-2, going 4-2 for me is a I'm getting pretty consistent results like that. But for my local, because it's 80 people or like 70, something like that, around that, it's usually around man, it's anywhere from 33rd to 16th or some number like that. It might be 15th, I don't remember. But it's not really it's a meaningless number. I care way more about what's the word? Way more about how I'm playing, right? Like, am I spacing properly? Am I doing the things that I want to be doing? Am I focused? That's a big one. I think so. Let's actually talk about tournament mindset. I think this is important. So, if you're playing, right, I think there's no bigger or more important skill to have than to be able to focus, to be able to concentrate on what's going on in front of you and nothing else. And it sounds like very, I guess the word is simple. It's like straightforward, but it's probably the most difficult thing for me to do consistently. Like sometimes I'm way more worried about what will happen if I win game 1, what will happen if I lose game 1. And by the time that happens, by the time those thoughts are in my head, I'm not playing game 1 anymore. It's one of those things where it is very obvious, but it is very difficult to master. Yeah. That's the spirit. What's most important is how you play the game, not winning or losing. Agreed. Agreed. I don't think. I don't like. I think that there are genuinely some players who are just strictly better than I am, and that's fine. That's not a problem. That's how things are. Like there's, I think, like even Leo gets beat sometimes, right? Leo's not undefeated. There's always going to be a player who's better than you are on any given day, right? So losing is not really, it's not that it's not important. I'd love to win. It's just that it's not really my focus. It's not my goal. My goal is to learn A, and B, when I'm in bracket and I'm actually playing the game, I want to hit flow state. So flow state is interesting. Flow state is a difficult thing to explain and talk about and discuss, but I think it's very important, and it definitely gets overlooked. So when you're in a flow state, everybody's been in a flow state, whether it's by accident or on purpose. Essentially, a flow state is when you ever heard the saying "time flies when you're having fun"? That's what a flow state is. It's when time flies, right? And the reason time is flying is because you found an activity. I could pull up a chart, but essentially the chart is that the activity that you're doing is very intellectually stimulating or challenging, right? To the point where it's keeping your mind engaged, but it's not so hard and so difficult that you don't understand it and you can't engage your mind, right? The more so essentially it's about being both difficult but doable, right? If something's impossible or like incomprehensible, for example, if you took a calc test and you've never taken a math class before, the test wouldn't be challenging because you wouldn't understand what was going on. It'd be like it was written in a foreign language. There'd be nothing you could do, right? But if you were, let's say, taking a test that you'd studied a month for, but it was just a very difficult test, you'd have a much better chance of understanding what was going on, and therefore you'd be more likely to hit a flow state, right? What's great about Smash is that Smash isn't so much something that you can either hit a flow state in or you can't. It's far more about your opponent, right? So when you're playing the game, if you have an opponent who's of equal skill level to you, right? Then that game is going to be much more, intellectually challenging than a game with either somebody who is far worse than you or somebody who is far better, right? It's difficult to hit a flow state unless your opponent is challenging you, right? But if they're challenging you too much and you don't understand what's happening, then it becomes difficult to maintain that flow state too, right? So it's something that um, it eludes people a lot of the time because you have to have an opponent that keeps you on your toes. And essentially, the goal, at least the way I see it, the goal of being a very good competitor is finding a flow state against anybody, right? Now, obviously, the better you get, the easier it is to find a flow state against people who are worse than you. And I would argue that it's more difficult to find like that concentration point against somebody who's far better than you. Like I'd rather play somebody who's worse than me, that way I can practice it. But, you know, I think it's still a very valuable skill to hone and maintain. Hold on. Hey T John. And hey Purgatory. It's all good. There's gonna be a VOD of this, so you can watch it anytime between now and in 2 weeks. But essentially, you want to be, when you're in bracket, not worrying too much about the specifics and the minutia of your game. Obviously, if you have a bad habit or if you have something very specific, very obvious that you can fix, then you should fix it. But really, like, it's almost like studying for a test. Like, let's say you're taking a test in 3 parts and you have a 15-minute break in between each test. You can't really fix your knowledge in between those tests, right? Like, there's, at that point, it's over, right? You either know it or you don't. And I think it's a similar thing in bracket, right? Like, if you're making a clear, obvious error, that's different. But once you bring your game to your bracket, you can't really fix it in between games, right? Or really in between sets. Like once you're at the venue, it's pretty much over in terms of improvement, right? Now you can get better through friendlies, you can get better through the game, especially if you review it, but that's different. That's not conscious, right? That's not a choice you're making. You're not going into the game like, I'm going to nair less, right? Because at that point, it's too late. Really, what you should be focused on, ironically, is focus, right? You should be more worried about, am I playing my best, as opposed to what do I have to change in order to beat this person, right? You like that. That's something you do after the game. Yeah, a lot of people don't think of it this way. They try and make their play as optimal as possible. That's for after, right? That's for once the game's over, and then you review it and you see. Like trying to fix your game during sets is, it's possible, especially if there's something like that's glaring, like a glaring error that you're making. But it's almost like doing VOD review while you're playing, right? That's clearly not optimal. You would never want to do that. So it's just not worth it. I highly recommend, especially if you're on stream, you wait to try and make adjustments and improvements until after the set's over, especially if the set is close. If the set is like either A, you're really far ahead of your opponent and you can kind of make decisions to either A, make the games more efficient, or B, make your play more clean for the next set, that's different. And if the opponent's much better than you and they're probably going to win anyway, then you could probably dip into the like, how can I beat X specific option, right? But honestly, that's probably going to make you play worse, right? It'll make you better long term, but you have a less, like, you're less likely to win that set if you're consciously thinking about what to fix. And that's why I recommend it. I'm not recommending this so that you improve as a player in this sort of methodical or like hypothetical cloud. I'm saying this because if you just focus on playing your best, you have the highest chance of winning that set, as opposed to trying to fix something and getting caught up in minutia and trying to figure stuff out. Like, it doesn't, it's not conducive to winning. And at tournaments, your goal is to win. It's not to be the best player. It's to beat your opponent, right? Or like, and when I say the best player, obviously if you win, then you're the best player. I mean like the most. Essentially, when you think about the game like that, you're not too worried about like winning. You're far more worried about outplaying, right? You don't have to outplay people to win. Like you don't. If your options and your choices are getting you more damage and killing earlier, then you are winning. You don't have to outplay. You can. You have to once the opponent starts to adapt. But if they never adapt, you don't have to think any further, right? And if they, let's say, like it goes last hit and they end up beating you, sure, like they won, they were better in that game technically, but like you don't have to change anything. You shouldn't be thinking about how you should be landing your moves differently. That's just going to throw you off and screw you up, right? And that's why I think like the better you get and the more you play and the more confident you become, the easier it is to just be like, this is my foundation, right? This is my rock. This is my play. This is how I play this game. Like I don't have to worry about that. That's always there, right? The newer you are at the game, the less foundation you have, right? So the more inclined you would be to be like, how do I deal with this, right? How do I deal with Bowser Jr. toy, right? Instead of just doing your instinct, you're going to try and figure something out, and that's going to just make you play like either a robot, it'll make you play very obvious. Like you're going to be far more worried about the wrong thing. I say this a lot, like when you're learning a matchup, you focus on the character, right? And then when you're playing friendlies, you're focused on kind of your play and what you're doing and your character. And then when you're in bracket, you're focused on your opponent, right? Obviously, their character plays into that, but it's not just matchup. It's more specific than that, right? You want to be focused on their habits and their options. Hold on, am I missing something? No, we're good. Okay, awesome. We got a lot of people here. I did not expect that. Well, thank you all for being here. If anybody in Twitch stream missed somehow the Discord, I will link it here. If you do want to join the chat and participate, but if you don't, that's totally fine. You can just stick around here. But what was I going to say? So, flow state, right? And this is where this gets a little bit elusive for people, right? Like, what is flow state? How does that work? Right? Flow state is something that it's difficult to explain. It's something that you're really lucky to find, right? Like without intention. If you are like, people say that they play their best when they're not really thinking any specific thoughts. They're just letting themselves play, right? And obviously they're conscious, but they're picking their options a bit more subconsciously than that. I remember, so Suarez is one of the frequenters of my local. There are some other good players, but like I had a set versus him, and I got 2-0'd, but they were both like last hit games. They were very close. Like I remember talking to him after, and he was like, "Damn, I really thought you had game one on that one." But like that those two games were easily the best I've ever played, because I was a little bit tired. I wasn't as like fully aware as I could possibly have been, and that was to my advantage. I'm not making excuses. I'm not making Johns. That made me play better, because I wasn't able to consciously analyze everything that I was possibly able to do, if that makes sense, right? I was just that little bit tired. I wasn't exhausted, but I was just a little tired. I'd already played a couple sets. I was willing to be like, I'm just going to put my best out there. I'm going to focus on keeping him at that tip of Ragnell, and whatever happens, happens. And I easily played the best I've ever played, and I was no thoughts head empty. Like I wasn't thinking about anything in particular. I was just playing the game, right? And that's why people say like muscle memory. You don't ever want to be thinking about your movement, ever. You want to be far more focused on how your opponent's moving, and you want to be able to, without thinking about it, move around them, right? And then from there you can space. From there you can play sort of the anti-air game. From there you can do literally anything once you've mastered movement, right? And obviously mastering movement takes a long time, but it's not so much about mastery. It's more about just being comfortable moving around, right? Comfortable with your execution. That's very important. So from there, right, from that sort of comfortable, like with execution, you don't have to think about it. How do you get to flow state? Well, I mentioned you want to be challenged by whatever opponent you're playing. It can't be too difficult. It can't be too easy. But what else is there, right? That is a very difficult question. It somewhat depends on the person, but really, I would say it's about being able to clear your mind, right? And obviously, you can't clear your mind like perfectly ever. Like I saw this ad, and I think they put it very well. If you can clear your mind perfectly, you're either a Buddhist monk and you've mastered meditation, or you're dead. Which I think is very true. I don't think that 99.99% of people can just clear their mind, right? That's not a thing you can do. However, you can practice it through a bunch of different things. One of them, I'd say the most effective, meditation, right? Everybody hears this, right? Everybody knows about meditation. It clears your mind, it makes you play better, it makes you more focused. Everybody, like, I don't have to sell you meditation, many other people have, right? However, another thing you can do is during friendlies, right? And people might call you a tryhard, but this is actual practice. You do your best to not like consciously think in game. Essentially, you meditate through the game, right? I don't know what the technical term for it is. I don't know how like standard practice this is. This might be not possible, right? But essentially, what you do is you can also do this in training mode. You don't even need another person, right? But essentially, how I do it, especially when I'm warming up, I'll go into training mode, right? I'll literally just do my warm up really quick. I've done a video about this, right? Ike, that's something I'd like to try. I agree. I think it's a really good thing to try. But essentially, you go into training mode, right? Short hop. Can't short hop. I'm so used to online. This is what I'm doing like 45 minutes before bracket, by the way. Right? And then you short hop in both directions as far as you can. You can short hop over the character model, which is nice for like the middle ground. Right? And then you add the aerial. And then, so essentially, what I do is first, I really focus on the input. Right? I kind of feel the input, and then I like add all the different motions, and then I speed it up, right? But essentially, once I get to here, I do my absolute best to just not think about the buttons, right? And at this point, you can actually you don't have to focus on the game at all, right? Like, you can watch TV and do this, right? I'm having trouble talking and doing this. But essentially, your goal should be to make this as completely, muscle memory as you can, right? Right. And with some specific movement like this, I have not mastered it, right? I'm still getting this down. But the goal of it is to be as completely, essentially, the word that I'd like to use is second nature. You want this to be second nature, right? So when it comes to movement, you want it to be second nature, right? But from there, what do? Well, when you're in game, right, you can really consciously think about your play for a couple games, right? Space each aerial with specific intent. Consciously be like, I'm going to jump here and then back air, right? And obviously that's going to make you play very predictable and very slow. But whatever happens, win or lose, you want to play like that and just kind of play from there. And then after that, you take all that knowledge and you take all that information, and essentially you probably won't be able to watch TV and play, but you turn your brain off and you just let your character model move, right? Those games of just letting your character model move at the will of your fingers are going to, they may not be your best, because some people are very used to playing consciously. They may not be your best, but they will be the biggest indicator of of what you understand about the game by far, right? Those games where you're not thinking consciously and you're just letting your fingers move demonstrate easily where your understanding of the game is, right? And the goal of like competition, the goal of coaches like me, is to turn that finger movement into your best play. Because when you can do this, right? I'm telling you. So the majority of this information is coming from the inner game of tennis. The inner game of tennis. I'm going to link it here in chat, because if you guys don't have the inner game of tennis, then you are missing out on a very important resource. I'm going to link it in chat here. I have to just find it. It's in my resources in my Discord, so you can get it there too, but I'm also going to link it in chat for anybody who's not in Discord. That book is easily the best thing you can read on mindset. If you don't read anything else and you don't want to meditate and you don't want to do anything, read that book. Regardless, essentially what the book says is that, and I'll give you an example in the game, right? I'm not going to rip right from the book. I'll do a different example. Down tilt back air, right? When you consciously think about it, it becomes much more difficult than just kind of turning your brain off and letting it happen, right? Like when I think about it, I get fair, I get nair. Like I'm really like, and then the difference is just like letting my fingers do the work, right? I'm a little slow right now, but essentially you just let it happen. You just let it be. After you've already grinded the movement and you know what's supposed to happen, and right, and you've seen it happen from your fingers, you don't have to think about it anymore, right? And in fact, when you do, you actually hinder your own mind. So essentially, you have two different unique minds, right? And this is very important to visualize. You have your ego, which is, it's not ego in the traditional sense of like, egotistical. It's yourself. It's who you are. Milkaholic, thank you for the follow, right? You have yourself, you have who you are, and then you have your visualizer, right? And this is sort of I don't want to get mystical. It's the thing that kind of ties all people together. Everybody has this mindset or this thing, right, in them that allows them to visualize, right? It's almost like your imagination. That's the way I think about it. So you have your ego, yourself, the things that differentiate you from everybody, and then you have your second mind, your visualizer, your imagination, the things that connect you to everybody, right? And essentially, when I say to turn your brain off, when I say to stop thinking thoughts, it's not really turning your brain off so much as it is letting your visualizer play. Does that make sense? You instead of letting your ego play and letting your actual thoughts play, you let your visualizer, right, your imagination play. And that sounds kind of mystical, sounds kind of cringe. It will be eventually the best play of yourself you've ever seen. You'll be amazed at how good you are when you truly unlock this, and you'll feel it, right? You won't be thinking. It'll kind of feel like you're watching somebody else play, but you're in the driver's seat, and then the game will end and you'll be like, that was the best I've ever played in my life. That's what happened to me after my Suarez set. That was the best I've ever played in my life. I lost. I didn't win. I got 2-0'd. But it was the best I've ever played in my life. And it looked it. And he was shocked. He was shocked at how well I played. Coming from Izzo's student Discord, awesome. Izzo's a fantastic coach. I actually get a lot of my training from Izzo. But thank you for tuning in. Okay. So when it comes from your visualizer, when it comes from that area of your brain, essentially, it's not just everything you know about the game, although it is everything you know about the game. It's also the things that you don't quite know about the game, right? Essentially, the visualizer can create bridges between information, right? Does that make sense? For example, back air is safe on shield, right? And you know all the different ways of pressuring with nair, right? I'm just using an Ike example. You will feel yourself when you use this part of your brain. Back air a shield and dash attack somebody. You'll feel it. You'll catch a roll for the first time, right? And that feeling is unmatched. It's doing something brand new. I'm sure everybody has felt it. During doing something brand new in the game that you've never done before and you've never considered before and you've never brainstormed before, and it just works and it works beautifully, is unmatched. That's perfect. There's no better feeling, at least for me, right? And I think that's what people chase when they look for improvement, right? They plateau and they feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, right? Usually people don't plateau and they lose every game, right? It's more the fact that they're not using their imaginative mind as much. They're sort of just doing the same things, right? They're not pressuring with back air. They're pressuring with nair. And that's fine, but you won't expand. You'll just refine, right? You'll refine your nair pressure down to a T, but you won't ever expand into different aerials, right? And I think in my personal philosophy, same with Mega. Mega's a fantastic player, is that you don't want to be refining, you want to be expanding, right? Which is why I kind of cringe at super true combos, very difficult tech. It's interesting, it's great, it's cool for the game, but it doesn't improve your neutral, right? This part of your brain is your neutral brain, right? And a lot of people play with their ego, right? They play with their advantage brain, and that's very obvious when you see it. So you talk about the conscious. I completely agree, John. But so okay, this is kind of where the ego mind of the self kind of overlaps with what's the word? It overlaps with the ego of egotistical, right? And like selfish. So who you are and the self is separate from how people identify themselves, right? For example, a lot of people identify themselves as parents, teachers, workers, Smash players, right? All these different labels, they're not ever perfectly accurate, right? Because in every label, right? In every sort of label you can put on a person, there's always variance, right? For example, a Smash player doesn't look a certain way, or talk a certain way, or act a certain way ever. They're a huge community of people, right? Same with teachers, same with fathers, same with mothers, same with any sort of group, right? So labels aren't really a good way of measuring, or what's the word for this? A good way of like representing ego, right? Ego at its core is about one person, right? And to you. And there's not really a label you can put on that. Right? I'm getting very mystical. It's okay. I'm getting very mystical, but it's important, I promise. So when it comes down to it, right, at its core, this sort of what's the word? This sort of ego, right, is more about how it's about how you perceive things and your surroundings, and B, it's about how you perceive others to perceive you. Those are the two big things, right? That's really important when it comes to ego, right? So when I say playing with your ego, right, like you play with your front mind, your ego mind, that is where this sort of idea comes from, right? So essentially, I'll try and make this a little bit more simple. Okay, when it comes to complex ideas, I'll just be straight up. I can be very convoluted and like talk in a circle and not really say anything. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best to break this habit of like talking in a circle. Okay. The ego mind is about how you perceive the way people perceive you. And when you play from there, oftentimes you will play to impress people, right? I've fallen into this trap before. Sometimes I will not play the most optimal or the best or the way that I feel I should. I play in a way that makes it look like I know what I'm doing. Does that make sense? I play in a way that demonstrates to the people around me that I'm good. And I often lose for that. It actually happened to me yesterday. I tried playing smart, right? I tried consciously playing with a tricky and smart intention to make sure, because I was on stream, to make sure that people watching me play knew I was good at the game. And that it just cut underneath my play. It prevented me from doing the things that I could have done and were right. They may have looked a little mashy, but it was the right way to go, right? Like, for example, the commentary at my local is great. They're hilarious. They're like really really solid. They're known across the U.S. Some of them, but sometimes they can kind of be ruthless to players. Like yesterday, they were talking about how bad my spacing was. like like okay, sometimes they can dig a little hard, right? So and that's fine. It's just commentary style, but it's just like in that environment, you want to prove that that's not true. You want to prove that you're better than that, right? And that mindset completely prevents you from expanding. It's all about refinement. It's all about looking cool, right? It's that polish, right? But like you can't polish a turd. That way of playing is not good. It's not conducive to winning, right? So essentially, worrying about what other people think, right? And a lot of people say, I don't care about what other people think. That may be true. You might not consciously worry about how people perceive you, but if in game you're worried about looking smart, you're worried about looking intelligent in your match, you actually do care about how people perceive you, right? And that's another danger of playing with your conscious mind, because your conscious mind, unfortunately, is constantly worried about how other people perceive you. Always. It's a necessary survival instinct, right? If the tribe didn't like you, you were at risk of not sticking with them, which basically meant death. So you have to be likable. You have to, belong. Otherwise, you die, right? But in this game, right? I think everybody talks about innovation. Belonging, looking like you're intelligent, is A, not as important as winning, and B, actively prevents you from changing, improving, looking at the game differently, right? Essentially, it puts you in a box. It labels you, right? That's what I was trying to get to before about labels. It didn't really work, but essentially, don't play for anybody except your visualizer. Don't even play for yourself. Don't play for yourself, because that opens up a whole nother can of worms. Play for the back of your head. Play for your subconscious, and just see what happens. Like, don't take my word for it. Don't just be like, okay, and do it. See what happens. I'm telling you, you'll see a change. Like, really, there is no bigger, no more potent change to someone's game than going from playing completely consciously to completely subconsciously, right? And the problem is that people are like, damn, I autopiloted. Oh man, I autopiloted that set. No, you were too tired. You didn't have enough water. Your autopilot is how you should be playing, right? The traditional definition where you're not consciously thinking, but you're still moving your fingers, right? Some people have muscle memory habits, right? Where they just kind of like, they nair, spot dodge, jab, down smash. But like, that's what I was trying to talk about before. The way you play when you're not consciously thinking is the perfect demonstration of your game, right? Because essentially what you're doing is you have a bad habit. You have a bad habit deeply rooted into your play, but you're taking your ego mind and you're forcing yourself not to do it. So essentially, every single time you nair a shield, you're telling yourself not to spot dodge, jab, down smash, and instead do something else. Every time. You haven't broken the habit. It's just every time the habit comes up, you shove it back down into your subconscious. Right? You want to break the subconscious habit so you don't even feel the inclination to do it. And most people never even get to that step. They just have a bad habit and they just don't act on it. Right? Hold on. I'm looking at chat. I got to figure out ways to make training mode fun. Gamers, yeah, agreed. Commenters like to poke fun at the players. Very annoying, but It's listen. I do not envy the position of a commentator. A quick tangent. It is very difficult to make this game sound fun 100% of the time. Like sometimes there's just nothing happening and you have to talk. So I get it. You always want to keep the information coming. New idea, got to try it out. I agree. You really should. I think everybody should. I think there are a lot of players who would immediately see a change in their play if they allowed themselves to play subconsciously, and it just doesn't happen because they think it's autopiloting and that it's bad, right? And they also think that if they're not consciously playing, then they're going to somehow play worse, and they will until they start playing much better, right? It's something you have to train. So what happens is people do it for a game, they do it for 2 games, they do it for a day, they do it for 2 days, and then it never happens again, and they're just like, oh, I play worse. This is bad, right? You see it a lot. Same thing with meditation, right? You do it for 2 days, and then you're not Gandhi, and people are like, oh, this doesn't work. This isn't right, right? This is not a fix it, right? This is not me telling you how to fix your chimney. This is me, like, sort of hopefully guiding you on a path that you will hopefully take for a lifetime, right? You don't just stop meditating once you've mastered it. You never master it. It's a skill. Same with this game. MK Leo doesn't retire. He wants to get better. Like you're constantly improving, right? And that's why who the best is, who the worst is, who's better is irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. Who cares? You're better, okay? I'm worse. It's about improvement and how fast and how efficient, and how fun. It doesn't you, whoever's better, whoever's worse, right? That doesn't change A, where you are. It doesn't change B, where you've been, and it doesn't change C, where you're going. So why would you care about it? Your goal is never to win. Your goal is to improve, always. And I think I think this is one symptom, right, in this particular field of meditation and mindset, of a much bigger problem, and that's focusing on winning and not improving, right? I think everybody knows about that. I don't think I have to talk about that. Everybody knows that, way more people care about wins than improvement. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, Politena and Wolf are characters that people complain about. Sure, they're very good. Yeah, they invalidate some characters. Fair enough, but at the end of the day, like, you still do have to, like, use them and, like, function to the best of your ability, if that makes sense. Like, you can't just like, there's no win button in this game. There never is, right? So everybody's improving. It doesn't matter which character you're playing. It's all about improvement. Anyway, bit of a tangent, bit of a rant. Back to mindset, right? So, well, how do you get to this mindset, this ideal mindset? By the way, this is not just, you know, I'm not just telling you what you should do. I'm telling you what the ideal is. I haven't even talked about how. So, how do you get there, right? That's the next logical question. And that is basically unanswerable, but I am going to do my best. I think it heavily depends on who you are and where you are with this stuff. Um, but essentially, the first step is to acknowledge exactly where you are. Right? Where are you right now? Are you winning locals? Are you actually competent at the game and you're, like, thoroughly outplaying people on a fundamental level? Are you kind of like kind of sort of abusing a gimmick, maybe, and you're not really seeing the results that you want? You're kind of stagnating because of it, right? Are you fully comfortable with movement? Are there still some things you have to iron out? Can you short hop effectively? Can you short hop every single time, or like 98% of the time? Right? These sorts of questions, essentially, you want to evaluate where you are now and acknowledge where you are now and work from there, right? And essentially, right, I hate to get super serious, but with things like addiction, right, in addiction psychology, the first step of breaking a habit is acknowledging it. If you don't think you have a problem, you will never be able to fix it, right? So that's why I say acknowledge where you are now, figure out where you are now, and work from there, right? Because trying to improve, if you don't fully understand where your shortcomings are, is impossible. Because where are you supposed to go? You're gonna practice jumping, okay? Well, you're already good at that. That's not gonna yield you any results, right? You want to find out your weak spots, and you want to find out your strengths, and you want to like tailor everything accordingly, right? In terms of mindset, you kind of want to do a similar thing, but instead of asking yourself those specific questions, you want to kind of go in a little bit of a different direction. What I mean by that is, instead of things like, you know, uh, do I struggle with this? Can I do this? It's more about, how do I feel when, right? Why do I feel like this, right? These are a lot more whys than what's, if that makes sense. Sometimes when it comes to the game, you can ask a why question, but usually that's reserved for the mentality. And I'll give you an example. Why am I angry when I lose to people who are worse, who I perceive to be worse than I am? Why does that make me upset, right? And you can go down a rabbit hole. Well, I feel like I deserve to win. Well, what does it mean to deserve to win, right? If you get hit more times than your opponent, well, then you deserve to lose. And it's like, well, no, they weren't really thinking about it consciously, right? They didn't think as hard as I did, right? Well, why do you value thinking so much, right? Why do you value conscious thoughts so much? If they won, they should be able to do it in the most efficient way possible, right? Well, that's not fair because I worked harder, right? So essentially, you're essentially bringing this concept of fairness into the game that really doesn't exist. Unfortunately, there will be people who are just naturally adept at this game, or like they have a really good game sense and they take really risky options, and sometimes you'll lose, right? A lot of people complain about Bowser, and it's, to an extent, it's kind of warranted. Like some Bowser players have a really, really good game sense, and they'll just F smash you in neutral, and if you don't do the specific thing that beats it, right, then you get hit by that at 50 and die. Like, it's not complaining, it's just the way the character works. Like high risk, high reward, and sometimes that risk pays off, right? So essentially, tying fairness to the game is a very dangerous thing to do. I don't think Smash is fair. I don't think it's ever been fair. I don't think fighting games are fair. I don't think they've ever been fair. And I think the sooner you detach from that, the better your mindset will be, because you're not worried about winning or losing. You're not worried about the concept of fairness. You're worried about improving and doing better in the situation that you're getting hit in, right? Whatever that might be. So like that's an example of like one rabbit hole of like, I get angry when I lose to people who aren't thinking, right? Essentially, you go down the why list, right? Well, why is that? And then you answer and you go, well, why is that? Right? You could do that with almost anything. I hate characters with projectiles. Why? Because I can't get in. Why? Right? That's more of an example of the game, but you do that with mindset a lot, right? I'm trying to think of another mindset question. Ooh, okay. This is another common one. I get nervous before tournaments. Why? Huge question. Many different answers. I'm worried what other people will think, right? I'm worried I won't play my best. Literally, there are millions that I'm not thinking of right now because I don't struggle with them. I'll go down mine, the one that I struggle with. I'm worried about whether or not I will play my best / what other people will think of my play, right? Well, why is that? Well, because I want to prove that I'm good at the game. Well, why is that? Well, because I'm a coach. And if I'm a coach and I'm bad, I have no place being a coach, right? Like, no wonder you're nervous, right? Your round one now has the pressure of, if you lose, you don't deserve to be a coach, Like, no wonder you're nervous. Of course you're nervous because you're applying this extra pressure to a game that has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with that. You're not here to win and prove that you're better. You're here to improve. Right? Like, you can literally do that with every single person on the planet and talk through every single like hindrance and falter that they have. it's it's not an easy thing to fix. However, it is like essentially you want to find it because most people never find it, or they don't even try to find it, and they eventually just kind of either push it down or work through it somehow subconsciously, right? A lot of times, what happens is when people get egos and they're really really good, what they do is they have the wrong answers to those questions, quote unquote, the wrong answers, right? For example, well, why are you nervous when you play? Oh, because I'm worried what people are going to think. Oh, well, just win and just be better than them, right? And eventually they play so much and they get so good with that in mind that they don't lose. They rarely lose because they're just so good and they never have to worry about that. And then once that's challenged, right? Once they get upset, there's a rage issue, right? Like that's where usually that comes from. Is because people get so good and then they lose to somebody they shouldn't lose to and they've never dealt with that before. But that's just one thing. Like I'm not saying that applies to any person in particular. By the way, that applies to a lot of people, and b only a small amount of people like genuinely rage. But like essentially, you want to ask yourself these questions. You want to look inward and see exactly what it is that you're struggling with, either mentally, game wise, whatever it is, and work from there. And I think that'll be conducive to what's the word? That'll be conducive to your maximum potential. Right. And I think like people put a lot of value on talent and a lot of value on like inherent ability. And I just don't think that there really is a significant amount of inherent ability. I think the core of it is confidence. I think the more confident you are in yourself, and the more at your core you are just able to be like, I lost. I lost, that's fine. Right? And not be happy with it, but be content with it and be able to move on and improve and like study the game and look from there. The people who are adept at that do the best in fighting games, hands down. Right? People point to Wadi as an example. You know, Wadi doesn't even play the game and he, wins the cave every week. A, he's been playing for a very, very long time. And B, he's clearly the type of person to get mad at the game and want to improve. But really, at the end of the day, it doesn't shake his character. It's not a slight on him if he loses a game of Smash Bros. Like, he can just bounce back, move on, play better, right? That's the type of person that Wadi is. He's a very, very... I think he has the ideal competitor's mindset whenever I watch a stream or I hear him talk, right? He pops off when people get clips on him, right? Like, to me, that at its core is somebody who is, like, A, loves the game, really enjoys the game, right? To be able to enjoy a clip that somebody gets on you. And B, be able to keep playing after that and not feel slighted and not feel like, they somehow have been dishonored or like they don't deserve to play. Like he keeps playing. Sometimes he wins those games. Like that to me is a very, very top, like I would say top level competitor, right? That's a very difficult thing to get across, but it really is important. Anyway, this, what bothers me when I try and practice Polo, they don't like it because they want me to try. I mean, yeah, they're entitled to win or entitled to their game plan. Yeah, exactly. I get what you're saying. They feel like their stuff should work, right? Oh well, this does work. It works against most people, And when you deny that from them, they either think your character's stupid, or the move is broken, or that something's wrong with them, or yeah. That to me is usually a little bit more represented in mid-level play. People being like, oh, well, this should work the way that this works against this person all the time. Right? There's no win button in this game ever. Some stuff is more difficult to punish, especially when you factor in online to an extent. But like really at its core, there's nothing that's just completely unfair, unwinnable, just impossible to deal with. There's nothing like that. There are things that are very hard. You're forced to guess, but if you guess right, you win. If you guess right, you win, and you have to know when to guess. So the fighting games exist because human beings have a limited reaction time, right? If everybody had frame one reaction time, there wouldn't be it wouldn't be possible to have a fighting game. If there were no such thing as reaction time, you wouldn't have to be able to react on shield. There'd be no pressure. There'd be no mix-ups. There'd be no projectiles. I'm reacting to it way too fast. Right? Essentially, everybody would just play the best character in the game, and nobody would ever hit each other. Like, it looked like it literally would be 20xx, and everybody plays Fox, and nobody's ever landed a hit because you have infinite reaction time. Right? The only way you'd be able to turn that into a fighting game is to literally just throw in rock, paper, scissors and force people to guess. Right? But even then, that's not conducive. That's just rock, paper, scissors with extra steps. Right? Smash, like, there's an element of skill there, right? There's an element of delaying in there, right? If you can react to this, right, then there's no skill involved, right? Because you can spot dodge the tomahawk, you can parry the nairs, and you could even up air me as I jump, right? Jumps take 6 frames, right? This is clearly unreactable, right? This is not a thing you can react to, whether I'm going to jump, double jump, air dodge, right? Back air. You shouldn't air dodge, by the way. Don't air dodge. I'm just saying, like, all the different things you could possibly do, right? If you could react to all of that, there'd be no mix-up. There'd be no game. You would avoid it every single time. Or you would fair me before I could even do it. You would anti-air me on reaction. So nobody would ever jump. Nobody would ever dash forward. Like, nothing would happen. nothing would happen if everybody had frame 1 reaction time. Right. Anyway. That's what someone said to me about Mario. Gotcha. But essentially, what was I going to say? Essentially, the game ensues because you can't react, right? Because you can't tell if I'm going to short hop, full hop, fast fall with the nair, delay the nair, right? All these different mix-ups, you have to guess to an extent, right? You can also escape the situation, but if you didn't have to react, you could punish me for that, which is insane, right? There'd be no pressure. There really wouldn't be a game. There'd be no corner pressure. There wouldn't be anything, right? The second the frame that I started jumping, you'd roll out, right? I could go on and on for examples. It's whatever, but like people who complain about that sort of thing, people who complain about guesswork, people who complain about all these different things, it's not conducive. I need help. I'm tired of dying at 40. Should I pick up Pikachu instead? It's 4:59. I would recommend you rewatch the VOD. But I will give you a little bit of advice. If you're dying at 40, watch back the match and see exactly where you're getting hit that causes you to die at 40, right? What's going on, right? For example, let's say Ike does this to Link, right? Up air, back air, forward throw, dash attack. And I hit it, and I burned his jump, and he's off stage, and he gets ferried, right? You're pretty much dead the second you get hit with the dash attack, which is 51%. Why? Well, firstly, he's not DIing out. He's not DIing up so that he doesn't get grabbed here. He's not spot dodging if he's not DIing properly, right? He's also leaning into the dash attack, right? Like right there, I wasn't able to dash attack him because he held out, or I was closer to the edge of the stage, whatever it was. Essentially, it is 100% your fault for dying at 40. Oh, you're playing Pichu? You could play Pikachu instead. Like genuinely, you die later, if that helps. But at the same time, you are getting hit. Even though Pikachu's not the most amazing character in the world, you're still you're not allowing yourself. You're still getting outplayed and dying at 40, right? It's not Pichu's fault. Pichu is just a character on the select screen. Unfortunately, it is partially your fault, especially if it happens consistently, right? What's probably going on is that you're not playing Pichu. You're playing Pichu like Ike. I fell into this trap. I tried to play Pichu once, like, to practice. It's 5:01. I have a session. I tried to play Pichu once to practice, and what I would do is I would go for these weird trades and, like, force these weird risks, and I would get either hit or trade, and I would die very early because I racked up so much percent almost on myself, right? But with Ike, I can afford to do that because I'm usually living to 150, and I have a lot of range, so oftentimes I'll win trades, right? But the thing is, Pichu's much faster. Pichu has a projectile. Pichu's much more difficult to hit in general, right? Ike is a character that he can force trades, right? But he also can't really avoid them, right? Pichu has way more opportunities and different advantages in order to avoid trades, right? And that's, I would recommend what you be focusing on. You should be focused on avoiding trades so that you're, instead of dying at 40, you're only getting hit to 20, so you can't even die. But yeah, it's 5:02. Session time, baby. If anybody's interested, you can join the Discord linked in chat to schedule sessions with me. But for now, let's get into sessions. Awesome. Okay. Hosting. Now, let's turn the music back up. That was awesome. I had a great time with that. Okay, thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna leave the call now, but thank you all. Wow, we had so many people. That was awesome. Oh, Rowfire, yeah, schedule it in a session. I didn't realize how many people showed up. That was awesome. Thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah, for how sudden you made the announcement, it was a big crowd.
Yeah, huge crowd. Usually we have like 3 or 4 people. Anyway, all right, later, guys.
Good luck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, John. But I'm assuming you were going to say good luck with the session. Thank you. That's awesome of you. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so close that Discord. This music is cringe. And now I'm here. Awesome. Thanks, John. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so let's back out of here. All right. Everything looks good on my end. I haven't been looking too much at the stream, but it looks fine. Looks good. Okay. Quick play. Oh, wow. Dude, I'm out of it. Okay. Smart plays can get you in trouble, and mashy plays can be right. And that's the thing. It, like, when you focus too much on how people perceive you, you can go for the quote-unquote risky wrong play instead of the mashy right one. So, nobody look. Let's do a quick one of these. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Oh, wow. The last time I was in a battle arena, I played Wario. That's a little worrying. I also use this Ike skin now. it is slowly growing on me. It's probably my favorite Ike skin. It's just adult, cool Ike. You know, just kind of not bland. You know, I guess I am an Ike player. I'm probably into bland stuff. You know, salt and pepper seasoning, right? Nair nair up air. Fair enough. Okay. So whenever this person is ready, we can join. Awesome. All right. Let's get into the session. It's the first of the day. We have, oh man, I think we have two today. Two sessions today. Yeah, sounds right. Because I have a call with the rest of the Scrub City Discord at 7. Awesome. Okay. Whenever Scarlett's ready, we'll begin. Old man Ike. Yeah, I know. I'm getting old. Yeah, classics like salt and pepper. Exactly. Okay. So, yeah, Scarlett. When you're ready, we'll begin whenever that is. Wait, what's a good one? Wonderful. Wonderful indeed. Sometimes, like, okay, so Pretzel's a great program for streaming, right? Because all the songs are completely safe. Oh, Steve, okay. All the songs are safe to use, but sometimes the categories have such wide variety. Like chill, for example, like you get so many different types of music. I don't know if that's on purpose, but there's a lot here. Like this is like borderline funk. And I was just listening to like electro step. Like there's an actual keyboard here. All right, game's a little laggy, but it's doable. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's a bad song. Don't get me wrong, I like it a lot. It's just not what I'd expect to hear. I mean, I guess you're bound to have a lot of variety when it comes to trying to get songs licensed for Twitch. I guess that makes sense. Boing, boing, nair, up air. Oh. Careful of immediate air dodge. Nice recovery. This is game 1, so I'm not going to be... Good down smash. I'm not going to be super critical. I'm just going to kind of play, and then game 2 is where I'll start to hone in on stuff. What's funny is that I rather would have let that hit me so I could get the armor. I actually should not have parried that, I'm pretty sure. Because if he had just mashed it, it would have been a little bit more difficult. Wow. Did not expect that to reach. Oh, okay. I knew. Deep in my heart, I knew he was only doing 2 jabs. Okay. I like the idea. I don't know if you're attempting to anti-air me directly. Caught him. Got very lucky there. If not, if he had shielded that and like not fallen for the mix-up, it would not have been good for me. Okay. Good back air. Nice. Not a bad idea. Ooh. Okay, a lot of building. Did that save me? I'm not even sure. Didn't mean to do that, but it worked out. Good idea with the tomahawk. It is a bit slow to go for, though. You do want to be careful. Tomahawk dash attack. That's such an Ike thing to do. That's like the pseudo-intellectual big brain Ike. Okay. See, that might be the... So, Steve is... I was talking about this with some friends at Aeon yesterday. Steve is a very difficult character to evaluate, right? Because you have... You have a lot of very powerful tools, but the character's base stats are very weak, right? But being able to build in a platform fighter is, like, a crazy, insane ability, right? It's, like, easily on paper the best thing you can possibly do. Right, yeah, up there I'm dead. But the thing is, okay. The thing is, sometimes with Steve, it feels like the person's doing the wrong thing, right? For example, that building, like you were close to the ledge, you were at the corner, you were building high, so you were in range for like an up air. Mind-blowing. That is very funny. That is a good pun. That's a good one, John. But, when it comes to... What's the word? So, some options or some things, it can be difficult to evaluate them because I'm not sure, A, what it's supposed to look like, if it's a good intent but a poor execution, or B, if it even has an intent at all and it just is panic. Right? Like, I don't know where the block should go, essentially. Like, I don't think anybody does. I don't even think some top-level players do. Like, it's very difficult to fully evaluate some of these choices. Do jabs. Up tilt is great because it combos into 1,000,000%, but it's not as safe as jab. And jab still combos. Nice. Okay, you gotta get up tilt combos. Oh, wow. Okay. Why did I think that was like the, I thought that was like Link's up B for some reason. When it hits once, it like loses its hitbox. Good crap. Oh no. Oh, that would have been gross. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh god, I'm gonna get hit right into him. Careful. Yeah, that's the thing. As Steve, you don't want to be playing preemptive against Ike. Because Ike can just hit you very hard for any sort of whiff grab, whiff up tilt. Like, up B and back air are very powerful. And dash attack. Right? It also, like, dash attack at 0 sets up for stuff. Right? Like, you're currently... you were almost dead for getting hit by back air at 0. Oh, that would have been gross as a mix-up. Roll behind. If anybody's still lingering from the improvement chat, this roll behind, it wasn't technically optimal, but it was my imaginative brain working. It was from the improvement chat today. This was like something I just kind of came up with on the spot and like tried. And it didn't work perfectly, so it's probably not optimal. Not the best thing to go for. A little bit risky. So you don't do it again. Like, letting your imaginative brain work and then critiquing it with your more conscious ego mind is much... It's probably the most efficient way to improve, I would say. Good jab. Wow, what an anti-air. Nice. I gotta practice SDIing. I might as well practice SDIing with this guy. I don't know how much it affects some of the combos he's doing. He's trying to extend the hitbox. Oh! I still got hit by it and the blocks disappeared. I thought I was safe. Okay. Down air. Oh. Okay. Good conversion. Oh wow, I missed him. Oh, he jumped. I'm catching you out for going for that. How did that not hit me? Was I behind him? Nice recovery. Wow, I didn't think he could dip that low. Okay. So the Steve is very solid. Advantage state isn't perfect, but it's good, right? You're getting decent conversions. You're not getting the most super optimal combos, but I think that's not like super important right now. I think what's more important is getting down positioning, right? And that's very difficult with Steve because Steve has a lot of different ways of changing his position, right? Block being very powerful, very complicated. Um, we'll talk a little bit more about what I think block is good for. Um, but honestly, at the end of the day, my opinion isn't super good on this because I'm not really a Steve player. I'm not really a Steve connoisseur. I kind of play a little bit more against Steve rather than as Steve, if that makes sense. I think Steve is probably the least orthodox character in Smash, but he's very, very powerful in the right hands. Like, and not for anything, I think blocks, like really, whether they're the best thing in the game or like only really good, they're really good. Like even in his bad matchups, like for example, like Wolf, like Palu, like all these different characters, like Joker, for example. I did not expect that to hit me. Like, they're really good. Nice. Okay. It's difficult to Gimp Ike Quick Draw. Unless you have the right thing. Did I double jump? I thought I was on the plat. I thought it was on the block. Yeah. I will say, though, I am seeing a lot of hold shield as I run up to you. I knew he was going to back air. See, that's another example of something I probably would not have done yesterday. Because I was worried about, you know, commentary and all the different people who were watching the set, I probably would never have gone for something like backer on a plat into up B because that looks matchy. And if it doesn't work, even though I had a feeling that he was going to back air, it makes me look like a matcher. It makes me look like a bad player. And I was content to lose the set rather than, like, even seem like I was not good at the game. Am I dead? No. I think that was good DI, though. I thought I'd get over it. That was nice. It's difficult for him to anti-air, like, especially full hops. You do have to jump pretty high. Or get an up tilt, which is a bit of a read. Nice F smash. Oh, wow. I didn't know that went that high. Okay. A little bit leggy again. Oh, what a parry. I think that hit him. In his blocky little temple. All three? All three pillars? Yeah. I could feel the air dodge. That like, so when you drop as Steve, you do have a couple options. I think Steve probably has the most powerful ledge game in the game, maybe except for Sephiroth, kind of close to Wii Fit. Like, it's not good. You always would rather be on stage. But because you can put a block down and get back all your landing and invincibility and stuff, that's really powerful. Right? It's really powerful to be able to land and get a double jump back, get your invincibility back. Like, that's so good. That was a good wait at the end. Thank you. Thank you. I could feel the air dodge. The way that Ramsey's put it, which I really liked, is that oftentimes those sorts of situations are like, you kind of go between respect and disrespect. And I think a good example of disrespect is when I did the up B on his back air from the platform. I just completely disrespected his pressure. Instead of trying to block it or respect it in any way, I just kind of went for an immediate challenge and punished him for it. And then respect was kind of like that situation where I waited for the air dodge. I kind of respected his option and I waited and saw what was going to happen, right? At least in advantage state, those are two examples of respect and disrespect. Why did I jump into that? Oh, I got very lucky. Down air me. Oh! I wanted to counter it. I was too slow. Okay. A lot of setup. I don't know what that does. I genuinely don't. I don't know if that was an error. You gotta be very careful. If I'd spaced the pillars properly, that killed you. Double roll parry. And I'm dead? Oh, no, I'm not dead. Okay. That would have been gross. Okay, you gotta be careful. Back throw? I was so ready for him to grab me. I think I'm dead here, right? Oh, yeah, I'm super dead. For some reason, I thought wood might not kill me. What happens if you spot dodge on a plat? Did I just miss every single one? Into grab? Side B in? Oh, imagine if you run into it. Getting F smash on cart and then having your opponent run into your F smash is so good. That was nice. Speaking of F smash. Oh, I'm alive though. We're good. Oh, that was gross. Gotta be careful of grab. Did he just hit the wall? Yeah, there's very little you could do about that. Why did he hit the wall there? Did he try and place a block or do some sort of cancel? Okay, down smash is good, but you have to cover jump eventually. And it covers jump, but only specifically. Like, it covers it at only a couple frames, if that makes sense. So it technically covers everything, but you also want to be doing something else. I robbed him. That was like 3 interactions. And then down air. But, okay. Essentially, the first thing is if you drop from ledge, which I highly recommend you don't, I highly recommend you pick an option. You want to be placing a block so you get back your invincibility. Because down air, or down tilt even, is very difficult to deal with. How should you escape pressure? We'll talk about that in a little bit, but essentially, for the games going forward, roll away, roll past me, jump, short hop, full hop, however, or try and swing. Grab, fair. Those are risky. However, sometimes they're necessary because if I'm reading you and, you know, I'm kind of doing some sort of, like, thing where I'm, like, just kind of... So, for example, if I'm just doing this, eventually you will have... Perfect. Eventually you will have to challenge me. Right? So I want to see you do that consistently. I'm just going to... This game, I'm going to force you to... what's the word? Challenge me. If you want to gimp me, you have to... go 1 block below, because if you put the block on the ledge, I can still snap it, if that makes sense. Like, if I'm just able to do this to you, then perfect. Perfect. Like, the thing about Steve is that he kind of incentivizes that, because he has that very special jab. But currently, you're anti-airing me perfectly down air. I like that landing. You kind of put yourself in a bad spot, but I expected down air, so... Oh, you can't roll. Can't roll. That's a grody ledge trap. I gotta stop doing that online. It's good, but it's not fun, and it kills at 40. Okay. Retech those. I'm glad about that. That's the thing. Ike loves trades. Right, so against Ike in general, you kind of want to avoid trades for the most part. There are a few characters who could take more trades than Ike. Maybe heavies. Maybe, like, you know, that was nice. Maybe, like, Bowser. But that was a good landing punish. You gotta stop pretending like I can't hit you after I drop. Because when I'm invincible, especially if you're at kill percent, I want to go for the funny stuff. You know? You want to play a bit more defensive then, especially against me. Because I just mash. I do that anyway, but still. I don't actually just mash, by the way. It was a joke. People are gonna think I suck. You know what? Actually, I do mash. I do suck. Perfect. If that block had stayed there, you would have given me. But what was I gonna say? I have to get into a really like serious habit of not caring how I look on stream, and not caring how I look. What's the word? While I play, in game and out of game. Like the way I look right now, like my face and stuff. I was genuinely worried about my hair. Who cares? Nobody cares about my hair. All right. Stop rolling. And stop doing the same timing of your option. I'm not even punishing your option. I'm just full hopping when I know you're going to pick an option and punishing it. Nice. Build. No. You can drop. You're one of the very few characters who can drop, put a block down, and just wait. I like the idea though, but like, you should be building blocks to prevent that. But I have to stop doing it because it's not good. Okay. By the way, the VODs of this set will be up for 2 weeks, I believe, on this channel. So if you are interested in reviewing it, it'll be up for you. Scarlet. Okay. So, okay. When I hit you with Ike Nair, or when I hit you with a move, a lot of the time I'm just kind of waiting. And what I see is you're either jumping or you're hitting the ground and rolling. Right? See how you immediately jump and place a block? I'm not able to hit you there. I can't do anything. I could run up and dash attack, but jumping is a very big commitment against that. Yeah, you don't want to jump there. You want to air dodge. But essentially, when I do this, nice. You don't have to pick an option immediately. That down tilt thing was a very difficult situation to escape, especially online, so don't worry about that. But see how like I'm spacing? I'm baiting out an option. See how you're immediately jabbing at a shield on a very well spaced Nair? You can escape that situation. You can hold shield, you can roll away, you can roll in, you can jump away. You don't have to swing at me. See? Like right now you're swinging at me every time. I shouldn't be shielding it, I should be being you for it. I can spot dodge it. I can actually do this. Oh, okay, wait. I don't know if fair hits it, but I'm gonna narrow shield and up smash. Oh, he rolled. Perfect. Perfect. Good roll. That's when you can do it. You can. I believe that's frame 4. So yeah, you can parry that and hit me with Nair. Fair. Bad idea. Good grab. What if I... Bad idea. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. There's probably a very specific way you can avoid that, but... You should not be grabbing there. It's too slow. Get back here. Up throw? Am I alive? What a good mix-up! Dude, I was dead anyway, but that was such a good mix-up. I DI'd out to survive up throw, and I died to forward throw. What a genius. Oh, okay. I guess that makes a little bit more sense. I should have F-tilted, but... Oh, wow, am I dead? Oh, no. I took my eyes off the screen for 1 second, and I was in the Steve blender. Good. I'm dead. That's scary. Okay, I have to space better. Speaking of spacing better. Okay. Maybe it's because I said it. I think this person's here, right? So they probably heard me say that they were doing a lot of the jumps and stuff out of shield. What a mix. Oh, you gotta be careful. That was terrible for you, because now you just lost your diamond. Side B? Oh! Remember that feeling that I was telling you about when people run into your F smash when it hits the cart? Oh. Dude, that's so gross. He died at 40. Oh. It was active for like half a second. Not gonna lie, that was an awesome, awesome feeling. That's the... I'm so sorry. Bro. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So, let's do like 2-3 more games, and then we'll VC. If you want. If you don't want a VC, that's fine. Oh, I'm DIing that wrong. Oh my god. I was DIing in. I'm like, why am I still here? Yeah, see how that block, like, right above ledge actually just allows me to snap? You want to put it below that one spot. It's tough to time, but you can do it. And if you get it, I'm dead at, like, 0, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I can go through it unless I space perfect. Oh, what a roll. So, tether grabs... Wow, that was terrible. Tether grabs usually are solid to catch landings with, but you do have to have a read, similar to how, like, if I were to catch a landing with a grab, I have to know where you were going to be. I'm catching you now with side Bs. Be careful. Good air dodge. That was just a delay there. Okay. Oh, that would have been gross if I'd followed it up. See how, like, you're kind of lost in neutral? And you start kind of going for raw hits? Okay, you could grab. That was a really good grab, actually. Yeah, it's hard to edge guard Ike in general. I meant to back air. Listen, your dash attacks are very nice. Oh, am I dead? I'm dead. So, your dash attacks are nice, it's just that at these percents, you don't actually have to go for hits so much as you want to put yourself in the right spot to force me into a bad situation. So I'll give you an example. I get a grab here. I could just wait, right? I'm going to let you come toward me. But I can stay in this area and sort of pressure you and then call out a jump, if that makes sense. I don't actually have to hit you, right? Because you're going to die to my hit anyway. Bro, okay. I have to actually SDI. I keep forgetting that I want to SDI. I normally don't SDI in sessions. I would not have done that. It ended up working out, but that was your whole life. Oh. Is that worth it? I definitely am not sure. I feel like you're at too high a percent to be going for trades like that. Okay. Nice dash attack. Oh. Close. It was risky. I went for F-tilt, but he grabbed just a little bit before me, so he caught it. Okay, forward throw. Yeah, jump. So I'm seeing a lot of jump out of hit stun. Jump? No, up B. Okay. I'm shielding a lot myself, actually. I'm also getting away with a lot of jump at ledge. Thank you, crafting table. Did he die? Oh my god. I didn't even realize. That's unfortunate. Why up B, though? Is it a movement option? Can you, like, lag cancel it or something? I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Okay. We'll play, I think we'll do 2 more. Unless you want to switch for some reason. Let me ask if you can VC. Sonic, okay. Ike is solid for this matchup. Online, it's not as perfect as I'd like it to be, but offline, I think we do very well against Sonic. Okay, perfect. So after about 2-3 games of Sonic, just because you switched, we'll do 3. We'll VC. Okay, that's unfortunate. Good back here. So as someone in the lead versus a Sonic, my goal really is just get away. I don't really want to be in that area. I'm currently in that area, but like, I kind of want to be able to play my game in space. Wow, I'm getting whip punished hard. That's good. Don't get me wrong. He's doing the right thing. I just have to not whiff. And that's another important thing. You really don't want to be swinging too much, as I was, because that's wrong. You want to be as mobile as possible. So not only do you not want to swing, you don't want to be in shield too much. Unless you have to be. Nice jump call out. He knew I wanted shield. And I think next time he'll know to cover just up B. Because I just basically just did nothing up B. Okay. Get up attack. I think with the down smash on TNT, he went for the thing where you detonate it with the lava. But air dodge? Ooh. That was perfect. Oh my god. That was perfect timing. And yeah, that makes sense. He probably wanted to spot dodge or air dodge. Whichever one you do when you're invincible. I know what you're talking about, I'm just not too familiar with it. Yeah, but essentially, if a Sonic ever SDs, you play very differently. Nice. You can also bully him in disadvantage. Unless you get hit by the spring. Good back air. Side B in. Why'd I do that? I mean, in fairness, he could cancel it, so I guess it doesn't really make a difference. Nice. Okay. So we've successfully baited out the get-up attack on neutral B. So I'm going to either try and outspace it or tank it with the armor. Next time, I'm going to try and forward throw him here. That might be a bit optimistic versus Sonic. Oh. Yeah. I just ended up going with what worked. But yeah, Water Wolf, that makes sense. But that only happened, I think only once, right? I don't think it happened twice. I was just weirded out by the entire interaction, if that makes sense. Okay. So we'll play 2 more. And believe it or not, like, losing... Like, SDing as Sonic, obviously it's terrible to SD as any character. But an SD as Sonic in particular is, like, probably the worst thing that can happen. It completely changes the game for both players. Like, Sonic when he's down is much worse. Okay. Kind of back off, take space. Right, so immediately what I'm seeing is that as soon as I back off and take space, you pre-commit an option. I really am. I'm looking for you here to notice that I'm going for Greb because I want to show what I'm talking about, but I have to stop fishing. It's terrible. But essentially, I hit you with back air, and you're jumping in, and you're air dodging. You see what I mean? Okay. I wonder if I can up-B that Rising Fair on reaction. I think it's definitely possible offline, but I'm not sure about online. Kind of want to have him Rising Fair again. Nope. Good dash attack, though. Am I dead? I could have been. Good parry. Okay. Oh! He got me. He got me. That was nice. Careful. Not quite dead. He got over that? I mean, he still died, but I'm so surprised he got over that. Nice. Okay. Why the ledge trump? I mean, he probably wanted me to stay on ledge a little longer. Good down tilt. Or F tilt, whichever it is. Yeah, it's definitely F tilt. He interrupted me trying to, like, punish him. Nice. Next time he does that side B, I'm gonna dash attack it. Mistimed it. That could have been it. Careful of that whiff. Gave me needless extra time to hit you. Oh, I should have killed him. Okay. I couldn't shield in time. That was nice. It was basically perfectly timed. I think I also just aligned my up B, so I didn't get the perfect flag cancel. Bit risky with those. You do want to be careful. Okay. I would say you should really just be playing for the timeout. Like right now, the only reason that I got you to 40 is because you were trying to hit me at 0. Oh, I shouldn't be dash attacking that. I should be side B'ing it. That's what it's for. Not there. That was a misinput. Oh, mistimed. Do you like that little weave out of the neutral B? That was gross. I went under it and he got caught in the lag, and I went for the grab. Dude, that was so good. That's your subconscious. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't amazing, right? My game, because I wasn't super duper into it and focused. But letting your subconscious play, you'll do things you've never seen yourself do before, and it'll really expand your understanding of the game. That was the core of the thing. Okay. So, I hope you hear me. I want you to try and time me out. Either this game or next game, whenever you hear it. If you don't hear me here, I'll DM you. But essentially, I want you to, like, just get more damage and pretend as if there's no such thing as sudden death and just win the game like that. Because that's how you win games in bracket. Okay. I'd be careful of that in general. Good fair. Very good fair out of the corner. That was like textbook challenge. Why back air though? Could I have been hit by that in any universe? I don't think that would have hit me if I did nothing too. Oh, that's safe. Wow. I thought if it was misspaced, it was grabbable. Maybe I just mistimed it. Careful. I know you want me dead, but you can't be that greedy about it. Otherwise, you take a little bit more percent. Oh, what an up smash. Okay. Warderwolf. So basically, you are right? When you autopilot, a lot of times you're gonna have bad habits surface, right? I think I said it during my improvement chat. I talked about this at length, which I highly recommend. But to sum it up, basically, when you play without consciously thinking, without using your ego mind, and you instead use your imaginative mind, right? Essentially, you have two minds. You have the self, the ego, and you have the imaginative mind. When you let that second mind play and you don't have conscious thoughts and you just kind of let yourself play, that was gross. Essentially, what happens is the core of your game, the core of your understanding, basically the way in which you play and understand comes to the surface and it becomes visible. You can see it. Right? That's what your quote unquote autopilot is. Now, some people do have bad habits, right? But usually, if you have a bad habit, and it only happens when you don't consciously think and you quote unquote autopilot, which has become heavily stigmatized. When you autopilot, really what that is that you have a bad habit subconsciously, and your conscious mind, every time you think to do it, you have the intuition to do it, you push it down and you consciously think of something else to do. You still have that bad habit. It doesn't go away. You've just suppressed it. If that makes sense. So you don't want to suppress that bad habit. You want to break it. You want to get rid of it entirely. Oh, should have F-tilted. F-tilt's my best friend in this matchup. Wow. So many times I've been like F-tilt. So safe. Oh my god. It's like back air on the ground. Yes, perfect. I was going to say, just get over it. But yeah, essentially, sometimes, like, you'll be playing creatively, and you'll just let yourself play, and it will look bad. Sometimes it will. But then you know that you shouldn't do that. Essentially, whether you're doing the right thing or you're doing the wrong thing, you're expanding your knowledge and understanding, and you're getting better. And that's the goal at the end of the day. But usually, like, in my experience, especially in bracket, I'm playing better. I very rarely play worse when I let myself truly play. And don't try and censor or stifle anything. Okay. So, one more game. And we'll VC. And then the next session. My main bad habit is mindlessly rolling. It needs to be replaced with dashbacks, spot dodges, jumps. Yes. King Watson. Believe it or not, I'm the CEO of Twitch. I don't. I don't believe that. But that's, I mean, that's sick. Good job, dude. Yeah, sorry. But, I mean, I'm impressed that you had the confidence to just come and chat and say you were the CEO of the platform. In fairness, I don't know who the CEO of Twitch is. So if I type in, CEO of Twitch, and on Wikipedia it says King Watson 87 with a 1 instead of an I, maybe? I don't know. Good idea. Okay, I have to actually look at the screen, because I'm losing right now, hard. Okay, I have to FP that. That was risky. What a back air. Emmett Shear? Yeah. Makes sense. A name that you've never heard before. Nice mix. Okay. I have to start going for, like, that. And just preventing him from mixing me. Because his mix is right. It's good. It's just, I don't want to get mixed, if that makes sense. Let me see. Can I boing on that? Almost. That was a good up smash, though. What a parry. Good idea with the fair, too. That air dodge. Oh my god, I think that was actually right. Okay, I'm really giving him whiffs here. Good conversion. Good. Not quite dead, yeah, I was gonna say. What a roll. But yeah, essentially, the way that I see it, you know what to replace your roll with, but really you should learn why rolling is the wrong option, not why other things are better. Like, rolling is wrong because even though it gives you some invincibility, which can be really powerful, it limits your movement and it puts you in an animation. And the animation, instead of being 6 frames, like a jump, it's like 33 or something. Essentially, for half a second, you can't move or act other than the roll. And that might not seem like much, but like 6 frames is the difference between some punishes in this game. So it's a big deal. Right, puts you in a lot of lag. So like really, I would say the best way to break a habit is to learn why it's wrong. To understand, rather than just know, if that makes sense. If I just get over him, can he hit me? I mean, he probably can, but he has to commit to it, right? Careful. Oh, almost got it. Almost did the yes. What a dash. That was such a good dash. Oh, dude, he just gets out of your way. I'm like overcommitting harder than I thought I was. That one was alright, I guess. Why are you getting so close? Just get over me. Just take middle. Nice. Good kill. Now he'll go over me? Oh, no, he did. That was smart. Call him out. Alright, let's VC. We only have 6 minutes, but that's okay. Song kind of hits. Okay. Hey, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Wait, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty well. What's up, man?
Okay.
Okay. So, couple things, and gonna be quick because I have to go in 5 minutes to the next session. I'm gonna stay on stream, but essentially, when it comes to Sonic, instead of looking to play the traditional game of like hitting me until I lose my stock and doing that 3 times, don't try and hit me. Try and punish me for whiffing, and then when you do that, just kind of back off and like look to punish me less. You can play way more passive than me, right? At 0%, like I have to try and hit you, right? I really do. I can't really afford not to take a lead. But if I whiff this move, you can punish me for it. Sonic is one of the very few characters who can whiff punish Nair, right? Now the thing is with Ike, right, in particular, I have this very long range, right? It can be difficult to deal with. However, if you are like on the money with your whiff punish, it's really your game to win. You don't have to approach me as often as you're approaching me. I think that's really the core of it. I think you should try a little bit more to time me out.
Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
when I am, I feel like I'm usually cornering myself with spin dash.
Yeah. With that, it's not so much that you're cornering yourself, although you are, but that's more of just the game plan. It's more that I'm calling you out on your timing. The startup of spin dash is invincible, right? So do me a favor, just let it go. Oh, okay. I'll count down. 3, 2, 1. Right? See how you just interrupted my dash attack? Like that's basically what you want to be doing. Like this should really not be hitting you. It is online, obviously, so there is going to be some variance in what works and what doesn't. But offline, that dash attack, you either interrupt it or you're invincible for it. Right? Like it just shouldn't hit you. The great thing about online though is that even though it's not a competitive environment where you should like measure your results up based on whether or not you get hit by dash attack, it is good to practice trying to react to this, even though it's like I think it's either on the border of reactability or just not reactable. But like even if you're not practicing the reaction, you can practice sort of like feeling the intention of when I want a dash attack and then dropping it when you think it should either interrupt or be invincible, and then you can work from there, right? Because then once you transition to offline, you'll make it that much easier because you'll either A, be able to react, or B, you'll have more time to react. But yeah, I think like practicing A, trying to time people out, which I know sounds lame, but like that's really what you want to do, and B, like trying to whiff punish with the invincibility of the move, not letting yourself get overshot and hit, is really important. Like it's not so much with Sonic, it's not so much about advantage state and hits, although that's very important. It's more about keeping the lead. Like sometimes, like I'll give you an example that might actually really help you. If I do this to you and you pick an option, I can punish you for it, right? A better example, just come to the middle, right? Anything you do here, if you do nothing, I was perfect for avoiding that. If you do nothing, you get up tilted. If you air dodge, you get up tilted. I can grab you if you air dodge. If you jump, I can chase you. If you do nothing, I can land with up air and like continue. Right? If you air dodge out, you get dash attacked. You air dodge in, you get back aired. Essentially, this doesn't technically lead into a true combo, but I can hit you for almost anything you can do. But I can't hit you for everything, if that makes sense. So with Sonic, for example, just do an up throw. Right? You can punish me in a lot of ways, right? Especially at ledge, because nobody wants to die early to Sonic, right? So you'll see a lot of people like, air dodge in, like that sort of thing, right? Instead of going for a follow up, because a lot of times what will happen is you'll go for like the double jump call out, or you'll go for the edge guard. Instead of going for the follow up, just wait and just punish the lag. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, like, I should, like, I usually catch myself, like, getting my mistake. It would get me on top of the thing right here, and I get, like,
Wait, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to say that one more time.
well,
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
platform pressure is it's a pretty intense subject. I can send you a video on it. I'll look for it in a bit. But essentially with the platform, you want to either be running off it, dropping through it, shielding on it, and then picking an option, or jumping off of it, like up instead of off, right? Um, with that though, like for example, just hold shield. If I do this, I can wait and I can punish any option that you do. If you jump, I go with you. If you run off, I can F tilt. I can dash attack. If you drop off, I can up smash or up tilt or something. If you stay on the platform, I can grab you. I can do another aerial. I can up tilt and shield poke. It's a very difficult situation to be in. But essentially, what I would recommend is you just pick one of the four options. And you mix up your timing with when you drop shield, when you run, that sort of thing. I would recommend not rolling on the platform too. It's usually weak. But yeah, that's really all. Okay. Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, I said thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. It's 6:01, but I do have to go. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yeah.
And yeah, awesome. It was fun working with you.
Same.
Awesome. Okay, later. That was great. Okay, let's invite the next person. And by the way, just to kind of promote, if anybody else would like a session, they are currently free until I start college, which is in September. So you can join the Discord, flare yourself as a student, schedule a session, and they're completely free. So yeah, I love doing this. I would say a dream come true. So yeah, if you're willing to, you like what you're seeing, you can participate and take a session. Okay. Next person up is Infernape. Now, Infernape is very good. Infernape is very good. Diddy from, I believe, MVDA. We've played a few times. I think. Oh wait, this is VOD review. Oh, sick. I forgot. This is VOD review. I love VOD review. Oh no! You're fine. I forgot. And hello. Okay, so let's hop into the what's the word? I think we're doing monitor stream. Scarlett, no problem. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the stream. You know, participating. It's really is. It's my pleasure. I love doing this stuff. Okay, let me get everything ready on my end with the what's the word? The VODs, and then we'll pull them up and we'll start. Oh wow, you were in grand finals. That's awesome, man. Okay. Sorry about that. No, pause, mute. There we go. Okay. I guess I'll play through the ad while I get everything ready. But okay, so sounds good. I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm New York. Sick. So are you from upstate? Is that what it is? I thought you were from MVDA. I don't know why. But that's awesome, man. We have a bunch of ditties on Long Island. That's where I'm from, at least. We have JDV. We have Petrikov. Westchester, yo! Okay, so I don't know if you know about this, but there are actually a ton of people who come to the Meta. That's my local. If you're ever there, I think they might carpool. So maybe if you're ever nearby, you hitch a ride. You might actually like see me low key. All right. So anyway, VOD review. It's your time. So okay, let's pull up the VOD. Monitor stream. Okay. Let me just make sure this is working. And it's 2 hours 10 seconds. Wait, let me do the theater mode. There we go. Okay. 2 hours. So it's about here. Yep, this is you. Okay. So I'm going to try my best to keep my eye on chat and everything. Just making sure everything looks good. It appears that everything is in proper order. Sweet. Okay. So I'm going to keep it on mute for now, just because I have music playing. I'm going to be talking. Gotcha. Looks great. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. So let me just... I'm going to watch the first stock through. Just kind of take it in. Okay. Nice. Okay. Ooh. I think you're a little bit nervous. I'm not sure though. That run-up was a little spooky. Nice. Okay. Went for it. Okay. A little risky with the gun at ledge. But I like what I'm seeing so far a lot. Awkward scramble. Okay. Nice. What a back air. That was a gorgeous back air. Good fair. Fair enough. I'd say that's a little greedy. But that's okay. I'll go a little bit more in detail once I've seen this stock. Oh, good monkey flip. Good fair. The crouch. It's well spaced F tilt. Oh wow. Okay, so he had a read on you there. He ended up did not. What's the word? Clutching it out. Yeah, but yeah, in the Zelda's mind, like, you should kind of be dead. Nice at B. Does he have banana? No. Okay. Or maybe he did, I'm not sure. It blends in with the hair. Okay. Good idea. Nice. So one thing that I'm not seeing a lot of, this could be just because it's the first stock, I think there is no more powerful a situation for Diddy than when he has banana in his hand and he's on the ground running around. Right? And in the same vein, like, if you're playing against Diddy, if you have banana in your hand and you're just standing on the ground, you're in a very powerful position. Right? It's a very powerful whiff punish tool. Right? All right, that's unfortunate. But essentially, like, having banana and just being able to force your opponent to deal with you is so powerful. Plus monkey flip being a special and you don't have to worry about it, so good. Right? Okay, so let's review the first stock. Hold on. For some reason, I can't have it paused and reversed. Okay. So I'm going to pause it once I see something worth talking about. Good down tilt. It was a very nice down tilt. Shouldn't have paused it, but it was a good down tilt. Okay, so right here. You run up, you shield, and then I believe you go into the corner. Oh, no, you don't. That was perfect. You took stage perfectly. I might be thinking of a different thing. But right here, exactly what you want to do. I think it's not talked about as much, stage, as opposed to hits and advantage and disadvantage and stuff. The way that you play stage in the beginning of the set heavily determines, A, how well you can observe your opponent, B, how long your advantage states last. And I think what you did just there was perfect, right? You saw that they went really high, they lost all their stage control, and you just took it from them. And now you're in the middle. It was perfect. Nice. Nice. Solid. I think there should have been a fair, right? Because let's say you get down air. They're still alive, right? I don't think that kills Zelda at 17. They might have even landed on stage. And you don't have anything else that's particularly guaranteed. With fair, you don't have anything guaranteed either, but it's guaranteed to hit, right? Like, down air's a bit much there, I'd say. If it kills Zelda, that's a different story, but I don't think it does. And even then, she might hit stage and not die. I'm thinking of going to my first offline tourney. I highly recommend offline tourneys. Not just for the game. It's so fun. So fun to go. Definitely. Also, for some context, this guy and I play a lot, so we've seen a lot of the options I go for. Good to know. Good to know. So there's some background here. Yeah, another... I in that situation, I don't think you made an error. I don't think you were too greedy. I think you just made a mistake. Like, you just whiffed a downer. That was gorgeous from your opponent. Hold on. Odd little thing, but that's fine. He gets punished. Odd scramble. Down tilt here is so smart. Oh, yeah, and he went for fair, too. Beautiful punish on his down tilt. You realized it was negative. You realized he didn't have a follow-up. You went for the punish. This back air is so good. Hold on. Okay, we have to see this scramble again, but I look at this back air. Fair? You take stage. You go to take stage. Look at that. And you just turn around and you deny him that space. Oh, perfect. And you pull banana because you have so much space. Cover it with fair. I love it. So here, a lot of ditties would overcommit, right? They get their back air. They get the opponent off stage. They pull banana. Most ditties try and put that at ledge. You just cover. And then you take it and you hold it. Nice. A little greedy, though. I would say instead of ledge drop banana, you could just put it on stage and ledge trap. Very powerful ledge trap. Real quick, is dashing back still a good option for slow characters such as K-Rool? I mean, I would argue that the reason K-Rool's bad is that his dash back is pretty weak. Right? Like, he doesn't have a great dash back. So it's difficult for him to avoid things. It's still a great universal option, but for him it's particularly weak, which is why he's not very good. He's very easy to hit. But yeah, it's still a good option. Okay. Nice neutral B. Nice neutral B. Wow. Okay, so that kind of like leads me to believe that he's played you before because he hard punished spot dodge twice. Right. You whiff this. I believe you roll in and you spot dodge here. Or something. Something happens where that punishes you. Right. That was very nice reads from him. Well spaced too. Interesting. What happened here? Did he just tweak you? Hold on. So he does the down B. He nairs, and fades back with it. Tries to anti-air. Yeah, he goes on the plat and then falls off and just barely misses it. That was beautiful pressure from your opponent. Okay. Nice. Nice. Good avoidance. Oh man, someone followed. Oh, thanks for answering my questions today. I'm going to drop a follow. Hope I can join your stream again soon. Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Warder Wolf. Thank you for the follow. I just heard the little notification. Okay. Oh, that was a beautiful air dodge read. So currently, unfortunately, he's not punishing them, but he is on the money with your air dodges. So you might want to be careful. Like, Zelda is a character that can hit you particularly hard for doing nothing, right? Like, fair, bear. Like, most times, most characters can't really do too much to you for doing nothing. Like, for example, if you're at 50 against Ike, like, he could bear you for doing nothing. He could fair you. He could out bear you, but, like, you're not going to die, really. But, like, Zelda in particular, it can kill you, right, for not doing anything. So I understand the intention of air dodging. I don't know what I would do here. I think maybe this might seem stupid, but I think if you think he's waiting for that, you fair him back. Because air dodge gets you killed if he times it right. I think that's a fair. I think you just hit him. Yeah, I think you just hit him there. Or even a back air, whatever it is. Might even be up air. Because up air can combo. I agree, but wouldn't the trade kill me there too? That is true. How quick is that? Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Ultimate frame data. This is a very useful tool. Did he? Fair. Fair is frame 6. I think that her fair is frame 7. I'm going to double check. Zelda's at the bottom. So Zelda's fair, or her bear, I guess. Yeah, because she was definitely facing away from you. Frame 6. Her backer is also frame 6. Now, here's the thing. Here, Zelda is waiting for you, right? I'm pretty sure she waits. Oh, wait. Zelda's waiting for you, right? So in order to avoid a situation where she punishes your air dodge, you fair, right? But if she does go for it, then you two trade. So it's a very awkward situation. It really is. Your best bet? Man, what can you even do to like just avoid it? It might be jump. Hold on, miscellaneous info. I think Diddy's jump gets him out of this situation. It moves his hitbox on frame 5. I don't think she can sweet spot fair you if you jump it, which is super awkward, right? Because then you're getting jump trapped, right? You're getting frame trapped. But like Diddy has a very good time landing, so I think it's jump. It's an awkward situation though. You are right. That's tough. Okay, good recovery. A little risky, but honestly, Diddy has a fine time doing that. Nice. Good call out. Oh, so he up through the banana and landed. That was really smart. Okay, back in the corner. I like what you're doing with the banana. A lot. I like how you're forcing the mix up. Nice. That was good from your opponent. Did you fall in the banana? What just happened there? Okay. I'm going to watch the stock too. But yeah, that's basically the situation before was just rough. Okay. Good idea with banana. Good idea. I think you gave him a little bit too much room with pop gun there, but the first one was nice. Second one I'd say is a little bit much, unless you had a read. Oh. Unfortunate with that up smash. I'm interested to see how this goes though, because this is one of those situations for Diddy. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I want to talk about this. Right, Diddy's in an awkward situation. He's at 50. He's kind of at a pseudo kill percent, where if he gets hit a couple more times, he's dead. And you want to kill them because they're at very high percent. They're at 150, right? And you don't really have any true kill combos other than like banana to F smash, right? But you go for an up air here. And even though technically this is overcommitting, you anti-air him very well, right? You call out a jump, and you get a kill in a very safe way, right? A lot of times what I see is Diddy's F smash, F smash, F smash, up smash, and like one of them kills. You went for up air, right? You went for the safer option, which I really like. I really like that you went for the aerial coverage instead of like, you know, for lack of a better word, mashing. Good roll. Okay. Your opponent is on the money with their fairs and stuff. They're spacing perfectly. Okay. Nice. Oh, Rising Fair. Okay. So Rising Fair, it's very safe because it's Diddy. But I like that you backed off, but with the Rising Fair here, you actually like allowed yourself way more lag than there should have been. If you had landed this fair, even if he'd parried it, you still would have been like almost an advantage, I'd say. But like because he parried your Rising Fair, he was an advantage. Right? See how long it took for you to be able to shield? Right? And then he gets pressure and he hits you for it. Like you want to land that fair when you have the time like that. Awesome. Good fair. So, again, you want to be landing the fair neutral. If it combos, it's whatever. So pop gun fair is fine. What a grab. Oh my god. Unfortunate that you weren't at kill percent, but look at this grab. Oh, perfect. Perfect tomahawk. And he gets banana for it. Up throwing banana, I don't agree with. Once in a while, it's fine. But holding banana is so powerful as a whiff punish. Maybe it's because he doesn't want to give up aerials as Zelda, but then you can Z-drop it. And your specials are how you zone anyway. I don't know. I think you should be holding banana. Same with you. I think you're giving up banana early a little too much. Like, for example, I don't want to support the channel. I want to watch the game. All right. Whatever. You know what? I'm not displaying this. Hold on. Okay. Mainstream. I'm going to actually use my training mode. XD. Oh, wait. Why is my chat not loading? Oh, my chat didn't load until just now. I wouldn't say it's a habit, but rising fair is a weird angle. Makes sense. Oh, it's all good. No, it's all good. Okay, so I want to talk about a little bit of Diddy pressure. So, on FD, it's a pretty clear way of showing it. Where is he? There he is. Okay, so when it comes to Diddy, right? Having banana in your hand is a very powerful mix-up, right? And at this point, I'm not really explaining this to you, Infernape. I'm more explaining it to people watching. Bro, I lost my banana. Oh my god. My Diddy is garbage. Why can't I pick it up? Okay, whatever. But when you have banana in your hand like this, right? And you just can move around, because Diddy's fairly quick, right? His short hop is nice. It's very fast, right? You could do short hop aerials. Can't do all of them, I guess. But essentially, right, you have a move that combos into F smash, right? You have side B, which is a command grab, right? And you have things like, what's the word? Like blended aerials, right? You can't really, like, can you do a rising aerial? I don't think you can do a rising aerial with a Z drop. Unless I'm missing something. But essentially, that would have been gross. Essentially, when you have banana in your hand, you become a machine for whiff punishing. I feel like I get caught up trying to force an opening on the other player. Exactly, right? It's almost like Sonic fishing for side B. You don't have to fish for anything. You're trying to whiff punish. Diddy with banana is about hitting the opponent for making an error. You don't have to force that. Right? Throwing the banana immediately is giving up all that pressure. It's like an Ike doing nothing but this. Like, sure, it's safe on shield, but you're not hitting a shield. You know what I mean? You're not pressuring the opponent if you're just whiffing. Right? You can wall them out, but that's a different topic. Right? It's like, this is a better example. Imagine this is Ike Nair. Right? Sure, it's hitting a shield, but they can just fair you because you're doing it at the same timing. Right? You're not actually applying pressure, you're just doing a safe move on shield. There's a big difference. But it's gotten better? Nice. I honestly think if you just experiment with when you can just hold the banana, it's a similar idea to when you read an air dodge by not doing anything, right? Like, for example, wow. I do this, and I catch an air dodge. Oh, that has no range, wait. I do this, and I catch an air dodge with up smash, and then I try and, like, continue it, right? So, like, that sort of thing. Right, when you hit the opponent with like this, and you wait for the air dodge, and then you down air, I know that one whiffed, but I'm not too familiar with this character. Essentially, when you wait for the air dodge, you get a bigger punish. And it's a very similar thing with banana, only instead of a punish, it's more so an opening. You get a much bigger window of opportunity to hit this banana. Okay. So, with that, I believe this should be over now. It is. Perfect. Okay. So let's go back to the VOD review. Let me just switch here. Awesome. Okay. And let me just make sure it's good on my end. What frame does Banana come out? Frame 7? Yeah, that sounds right. I'll double check while I make sure this is on. Diddy Banana comes out... Oh, Banana appears on frame 20. In terms of startup? I'm not sure. It doesn't say. It's not very accurate when it comes to the Banana poll. Interesting. Anyway, back to VOD review. So nice pop gun. Nice. That's what I mean, right? That Banana is like so powerful for catching those sorts of Zelda options. Just holding it in your hand is so like, look at that. That's the thing. It's almost like you're doing the move preemptively. You don't want to like try and catch something you don't see. You can react, especially offline. But I do want to reiterate, you are playing very well. I'm kind of nitpicking a little bit. But that's my job. Okay. Oh, unfortunate. Oh, no, you got it. Nice. Okay. Nice. A lot of neutral. A lot of double jumping. Nah, you threw it too early. I feel like even you could feel there that was not right. That's okay, though. You're going to make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. It's just that you want to minimize them as much as possible. Like, that was just wrong. And now you know for the future. Oh, what an up B. Weird up B, but it was like right almost. Okay. He's trying to protect himself from Banana. So now this is where you can kind of start to do those landed aerials that I was talking about, because he's staying very grounded. He's trying to block Banana from hitting him, and he's obviously trying to avoid the grab. Nice. Very nice. Very clean. So now you can start to go for those Z-drop aerials. Those are going to be your best friend in those situations. When the opponent's trying to avoid Banana, and they're trying to avoid grab. Because then you can pressure their shield, because they're going to be like blocking and stuff. And that's where that pressure comes in. So like landed fair, landed bear, landed nair. Even up air. Like a landed up air is good too. Wait, Z-drop aerials to wall out or to pressure. So as Ike, both. If you're hitting a shield and you're spacing it, you're pressuring. If you're nairing in just neutral, probably you're walling out or you're whiffing, which is an error. But for Diddy, I would say it's usually for pressure. You can wall out with things, but you have very low priority because you're not a disjoint. You don't really have too much range, except maybe fair. So it's not really like you're walling too much out. Like, for example, like if you were trying to wall out Zelda fair, you're losing, right? Because she's hitting you way harder than you're hitting her. Right, Ike just beats it. He doesn't have to worry. But you can do both, essentially. For Diddy, it's usually pressure, but you can do both. Because Nair, you're walling out in neutral, but once you hit a shield, then it becomes pressure. Because your opponent has to act before you. Okay. Does that reflect it, or does it just break it? I do not know. Interesting banana pull. I like it, though. Was that a mistake on his part, or was that a good play on your part? No, I think it was fine. That was fine. That was nice. Got it. Zelda, her neutral B breaks it. Okay, that's good. That's good for you, actually, because you don't want to have to deal with it getting reflected. Oh, wait a minute. I missed a lot. Okay. Nice. Oh, okay. Weird scramble. Good punish on his part. Wow, you're at 67 from that. That's insane. Oh, wow, he went for fair too. He almost got it. Roll earlier, but that's... You did the right thing eventually. Okay. That attack side B was actually really nice because you crossed him up and you, like, were totally safe. And you got to banana, which was good. Okay. Okay. Nice. Again, though, I think here... Hold on. I believe it's here. Yeah. In this situation, because he dropped shield, you were actually in the right. But, like, most people will just hold shield in that situation. I actually want to do something kind of funny here. Okay. And where's Zelda? Up there. Okay. So, okay. Let me switch back. Okay. Yeah, and if they hold shield, I think you go for the regular grab or monkey flip. I agree, 100%. But the thing is, you like, so this is the shield beating option. It outright beats it. However, if they don't shield, then, like, you're still kind of safe, but, like, okay. If your opponent tries to attack you for this grab, they win. If they swing, they win. If you do this, you trade. And you win because they're in the corner, right? Unless it's, like, fair. But fair's not going to be able to hit you in time if you're doing it properly. Right? So you can do this. It's the shield beating option. But if you whiff it, you could end up off stage, which is awful. You could also, what's the word? You could end up getting hit out of it, that sort of thing. If you go for this spaced aerial, right, not only do you start combos, right? I can't even do it. But, like, not only do you start combos, right, you also get frame traps and, like, more advantage state. And if you start, like, with the really potent openers, like, you can kill if they DI in. That was not the right move. It was supposed to be back there. But you get my point. Like, that to land with is broken. So good. And you get, like, this. If you're good at the game. I can't do it. Hold on. Yeah. Stuff like that. Wait a minute. What percent do you have to be at? Is it this? Nope. Too early. Bruh. Peach. I call her Peach. Zelda. Die. There we go. And you can get double. But, okay. Anyway. My point being is that this beats the shield, right? It's like Ike going for Nair grab, right? It beats it. It wins. But if they spot dodge, that hits about 35-50. That makes sense. But if they spot dodge, you're kind of like in a bad spot. You cross them up into the corner. If they hit you, they win because you don't have the hitbox out, right? That sort of thing. This, you usually trade in your favor. And if they spot dodge, you're completely safe. You can keep pressuring, right? So, I would recommend that you use this if they're just turtling and they're never dropping shield at all, right? Or you do this in pretty much the other situations, right? Because this, I would say, is safer. And not only that, I would say it's more rewarding. Okay, I'm hitting this. Bruh. Zelda's too thin. Whatever. Okay. You get my point. Alright, back to VODs. Okay, we got it back out of this. Alright. Yeah. So I just recommend a little bit more landed aerial. Do you believe in the Falco agenda? Hello, Girapsef. Okay, so let me just pause this really quick. I think that Falco gets a lot off of mistakes. I think that half the cast gets a lot off of mistakes. Do I believe in the Falco agenda? No. Do I believe that some players work their advantage state really hard and don't actually learn neutral and like don't advance and don't get better and just cheese? Yeah. So I think you're kind of asking me if Santa's real. I think in the hearts of many, yes. I'll put it that way. Okay. Oh, what an up B. Okay, that was... Let me just see. So you actually did a landed aerial here. Was it misspaced? Beautiful. Yeah, misspaced. A and B, I'm solidly sure you can shield. You can definitely shield before that up B. You were just, you weren't prepared for it. Which is fine. But, like, what I would recommend doing is, like, when you start with landed aerials, I shield. I shield more than I should, right? And the reason is that I want to block any unsafe thing, because if they do something unsafe, it's a free punish, right? An up B like that, if you block it, is free punishing. And if they don't do something safe, I might lose the advantage state, but I don't get hit for it, right? And then, you know, after that, once I start landing aerials again, then I can go for bigger punishes, right? That's really important. Preach, thank you, Trump said. And yeah, it was misspaced, but you were still safe. I was surprised it even hit you, was my point. Okay, good edge guard. That was just well played on their part. I don't think that's a pattern on your end. Okay. Yeah, that's that rising fair again. So I honestly think you'll see a lot of like successful pressure instances if instead of this rising fair, you just short hop forward. Because if you just short hop here, hold on, I want to get the exact frame. This. If like it does hit because your opponent's not blocking it, but if you were to just short hop in this situation, you could still put the fair right where it is now. But you also have the opportunity to tomahawk, side B, fair lower, nair, up air, grab. Like you could do anything. And if you had banana in your hand, you can do banana throw. Right? So short hopping there gives you so many different options that your opponent has to respect. And since they're not anti-airing you might as well. Right? If they were doing rising fair, it would be different, but they're not. They're just either A, getting hit and resetting to neutral, or B, doing basically nothing. Right? So I just want to see the situation again. Right? Like you hit this fair and nothing happens, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like it's just nothing situation. When you land that sort of move, yeah, right. So getting that extra short hop in opens up options. Exactly. And when you land a nair, you get another area, right? You get a follow up. You get them off stage. When you hit this fair, you get the damage, but it's just back to neutral. There's no follow up after a rising fair. Same with Ike. Like for example, let me just show you what I mean. Oh wait, that Twitter's wrong. I gotta fix that. Anyway, when Ike goes for this, it doesn't combo. Right? I think if you fast fall it perfectly at 0, it might combo. But like, that's not a combo. This is a combo. It's the landed fair. Not only that, this is the safe move. This move's not safe on shield, because I have to wait to land. Right? The only way this combos is if you use the back hit, but then you have to space it incorrectly. And at that point, what are you doing? Right? Like, it's very awkward. It's the same thing with Diddy. It's just that Diddy's quicker, and he can kind of, like, make up for the difference with, like, speed. But, like, Ike makes it very clear that that's wrong, because he doesn't have that type of advantage. Right? He has a lot of range, which is good, but it's very clear that rising with the aerial is not good. With Diddy, it's less obvious. Anyway. Oh, wait. I have to back out of this anyway. Okay. There we go. Okay. Again, calling you out for dropping shield. I think this is a situation where you can just stand to block a bit longer. It could be because he's like really hyping up the tempo and then going for these sorts of tomahawk mix-ups. But I think this is a situation where you just want to hold shield a little bit longer. You could do that. You could also roll away or jump away. But like really, like that happening more than a couple times, you just shield it. Like that's just him throwing off your tempo. Nice. Good jab. So jabbing is actually like really powerful for those scramble situations. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I've been trying to work on anti-airing on reaction, so I'll try and throw out fast kitch jumps on the way up. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'd like that a lot, but here's the thing. Most of your aerials, as Diddy, should be grounded pressure, right? Because your aerials that are safe on shield and like that are safe to whiff are landed ones. The rising ones are callouts, right? And usually, people jump either A, when you have banana in your hand, which is not happening too often, B, when you can monkey flip, which has kind of happened, and C, after you've started to pressure their shield with landed aerials, right? So like you have to stimulate that reaction. You have to get them to jump first before you can start whiffing that and that being like logical, if that makes sense. Because you can catch a jump, you could, but it wouldn't be conditioning. It would just be a guess. But yeah, that's the right way of doing it. It's just you want to call it out a little bit more intentionally, if that makes sense. They are really using the banana very well. I wish they would hold on to it more, but other than that, this opponent is really good with the banana. Whew. That was nice. Okay. Oh, it reflected. That's so unfortunate. Nice recovery. Oh, that's unfortunate again. Okay. Nice roll. Oh, wow. That sucks. Okay. That's unfortunate. A lot of unfortunate stuff happening here. Nice. Beautiful jump in. I want to highlight this. I think it would have been better to do nothing. I'm not 100% sure, but I like your intention here. Down throw, back air, you wait. I would have preferred to see you do nothing. I like down throw, back air, nothing. I think that's the line here. Because, like, you do this, right? If you do nothing here, the only thing he can hit you with is... What? I don't think fair would hit you, right? Not at hit stun, maybe. Maybe jumping is right. I don't know. I feel like fair would not hit sweet spot there, but jump makes sense. But I would honestly, I would just hold in because he's not going to fair you here. Hold in, and you can get such a big punish on anything that he mashes. And by in, I mean in toward the stage, so you're out of the way of his aerials. How did I get the menu purple? I don't even know what that means. Do you mean my Twitch menu? That's just how it comes. Nice forward throw. Another F smash. He's desperate. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, he was desperate there. It ended up working out for him, though. Sometimes that's how stuff is. F smash safe on shield, you can get away with a lot more. And that's not a slight on him. He did the right thing. It's just, it was clearly out of desperation. Nice. Oh, good jab. Yeah. So you're going for the very. It's kind of technically difficult, like banana down air, right? I would recommend you just kind of go for down tilt. Banana down tilt mix up. Like you don't really have to go for this this down air, even though it is optimal. If you're not hitting it, it's okay not to, right? I'll give a perfect example. In Tekken, there's this thing called an instant while running. And some characters have very powerful, very safe instant while running threes. And you have to essentially hit this in a very tight amount of time. So it looks like this, I think. Right? I can't even do it. I can't even do it like this. But like essentially you're doing that with your thumb. And you're doing it in neutral, right? And you have to space it and everything. Like it's not an easy thing to do. JDCR is, in my opinion, the best player in the world in Tekken. Even he, in a very difficult, intense, neutral situation, will not instant while running. And he'll go for a different combo. Because it's just, you don't want to risk messing that up. Even if it means getting less damage, at least it's guaranteed damage. It's very important. Down tilt. Yeah, down tilt, dash attack. Basically anything that's guaranteed to hit. Even up smash. Like, I see people go for grab too. How should I review a VOD? Look to see the neutral interactions. I watch stocks first and then I go back. And then look to see where you get hit and work backwards. Why'd you get hit? What led to it? That sort of thing. Those are the questions you want to be asking. Like right there, you got hit because you dropped shield. And I mentioned it before. Essentially, you want to be avoiding that. He actually whiff punished you here. So, this is interesting. I'll put this on display. So, right, when you do this full hop, you have to wait to land, right? You can do two. Can you do two? No, you can't. Wow. You can do two back airs, but if you do want to do a fair, you can't do another fair, right? Because of that, if Zelda waits for you to whiff, she can punish you. Short hop or full hop. If you do this, she can dash attack you. If you do this, she can down B you. And that's what your opponent did. They had a down B ready, and you went for a fair, and they punished you for it. They literally whiff punished you. Right? That's why rising aerials are risky. If you had short hopped or full hopped, you could have air dodged through it. You could have double jumped away. Could have side beat over. Right? Could have done anything. Right? And then if you had wanted to, right? Let's say they dropped a down B. Boom. Whiff punish. Right? So essentially the game is between whether you go for landed aerials and you get stuffed out at your peak, whether you go for rising aerials to stuff out your opponent trying to stuff you out, or whether you go for kind of waiting on the ground and whiff punishing and seeing that your opponent whiffed, right? They all kind of rock, paper, scissors each other, right? It's very important to understand that. Wait. I got this. Okay. Damn it. One more. Okay, I'm done. I have to go for the less technical option. Okay. Monitor stream. Okay. Yeah, like right there. That should have been a hit. Getting neutral reset there is awful. Well, not awful, but it's not good. Yeah. Don't drop shield there. Beautiful whiff punish. Little risky, but fine. Good pressure. He got very scared. Beautiful weight. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. You drop banana, right? Bruh. All right. I'll recreate it over here while that plays. You drop banana. It's like what? Over here? You're pop gunning, right? He full hops in, or like he rolls in, and you just jump and you hit him. It's gorgeous. You just jump and you just react. I think you even like get a grab or something. I'll have to see it. I think I'll get better at the RPS conversion. Exactly. Exactly. I agree. That's something that just takes straight up experience with the game. I am having a lot of fun. Diddy's a very fun character to move around with. Oh, I'm dead. But yeah, cool. Okay. I kind of have to, because otherwise I have to enjoy the ads on Twitch. Alright, let me see. Is this done yet? Yes, it's done. Okay, we're good. Sweet. Okay. So. Beautiful. Good idea. A little too early, but that was right. Oh, that was a hard call out. Yeah, he's like really, he's getting a lot of hits out of calling you out for dropping shield. You do want to be careful. Mix up your rhythm. One thing you can do, not go into shield at all. Just move around, dash back, jump, something. Or hold shield for longer. And just block. Nice, good punish. I'm not going to lie. I'd be surprised if you lose this set. This feels like your set. Oh yeah, it's loser's quarters. You're in grands. You won this set. But it just feels like it's your set. Not going to lie. You feel in control. Even though you lost last game. Good up air. Side B. Oh, that's rough. Great catch, though. You look so focused. It's awesome. I love seeing that. I get the same way. I look so focused. Oh, good punish. Are you dead? All right. Yeah. Good punish. This is just good punish on his end. He clearly took that one personally. That down air. Okay. Nice roll. It wasn't quite the hold shield that I wanted, but it's still good. Okay. Nice. Nice. Good peanut, too. Wow. Really clean stock so far. Oh, what a nair. That's perfect. Nair out of shield there was nice. And you killed him? Oh, that was so good. GG's, bro. That was nice. Super clean. Okay. Diddy is pretty fun. He is. He read me really hard. Yeah, he got you. That was really clean stock. I have nothing to say about that. Couple too many rising aerials in that game, but other than that, very solid. All right, let's get to grands. When's grands? Okay, the grand finals is 328. Okay. Oh, wow, this is a quick grand finals. Oh, Gatsby, yo! Gatsby goes to my local. Sick. So, wait, hold on. All right, I gotta know. Did you end up taking this, or did Gatsby win? Oh, there's more to one pack? It's 3 games? Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's 655. Oh, it was bad? Okay. Okay, let me just see. Okay, so he ended up taking it. That's okay, though. Listen, dude, Gatsby gets 4th, like 3rd at my locals consistently. He's a very, very good player. And my locals are like any man. I don't know how many people are here, but my locals are like almost like they're like round 3 at a major. That's how I hear a lot of people describe them. Like on any given day, like who's there? Miles, Suarez, Zone, who in my opinion is the best Ike in the US or close to it, maybe third. Um who else? Raptor, Stocktaker, PK Chris, Nin James. Oh man, I'm forgetting so many people. West Gatsby, Westchester people come down all the time. Mr. L, um, that Greninja, Toxic Croak, something like that. Like so many good players, and then they get upset by even better players in the area. Like he won in 3. It was a 25-man bracket. Where am I from? I'm from Long Island, so like the bottom of New York. But yeah, it's pretty late. I'm gonna call the stream here. What? What Trepsef? Are you from there? Oh yeah, Mr. E. I completely forgot Mr. E. Yeah, Gatsby's great. Yeah, Mr. E. Yeah, no problem. Oh, you're from Brooklyn. Nice. Oh, you live in Queens. Okay. My dad's from Brooklyn. Got family in Freeport. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm like a drive away from wherever you are. That's awesome. But yeah, I don't know if you go to locals, but the meta's I would say in terms of what I've seen for locals, it's ridiculous. We have like 25 switches. It's just insane how good the local is. The setup at least. And the people who run it are awesome. The brackets are always great. There's very little toxicity. It's a great place to be. But yeah, on that note, on that meta sort of promo, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you all for tuning in. This was great. Great viewership. Great readership for the improvement chat too. If you do want to watch that back, or if you do want to get a session of your own, you can join the Discord here for that. But yeah, I think on this song, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you, Infernic, for sending in your VODs. Thank you, Scarlet, for sticking around and for the session. Well, for letting me coach you. And for everybody who tuned into Improvement Chat. Yes, sir, we'll get after it real soon. Yeah, I'll see you next week, man. Looking forward to this set. All right. Later, guys.